Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Walmsley. I'm the founder of the Arts and Culture Network, and this is the best bit of the job for me. We might be 144,000 strong across our 8 LinkedIn groups, but I don't get to meet everyone. So when I do, it's a real treat. And Fiona Pacquette has joined me. Is it Pacquette or do you prefer Pacquette,
It's
Fiona?
actually Pacquette.
Pacquette. Okay.
Pacquette.
Fiona is one of our full members, for which many thanks. We are entirely member funded, so um, it's very much appreciated. So this is the best bit for me because I get to introduce Fiona to you, and we're going to have some fun as well to pull out some anecdotes and surprises. I'm going to create Fiona's fantasy cultural year from the answers to 10 easy questions, and there are no wrong answers. I've also got a magic wand and a time machine to make this even more interesting. So, uh,
Mm.
but Fiona, before I do that, I know you're the music director at the East London School of Music, and we met a few days ago. You came to one of our networking events on Zoom. Thanks for that. Would you like to say hi to everyone and tell us a little bit more about the work that you do and your current campaign?
Yes, thank you for inviting me. It's quite exciting to be here and to connect with um, people of other artistry backgrounds and stuff. My name's Fiona Pacquette. I'm based in East London. I'm in the Bow area, and the charity East London School of Music, we are based in Hackney. And what we do is that we are, I would say, a classical music training conservatoire for the community. And we reach out to disadvantaged families who cannot otherwise afford music, because as you know, many of you who are musicians and who've done the training, classical music training is not cheap. And there are lots and lots of talented children, young people out there who would like to have who would like to access this opportunity, but they can't.
That's brilliant. It's great work that you're doing. I remember I had a conversation with someone recently, and I heard the phrase, talent is everywhere, opportunity is not.
Mhm.
And so you're working to defeat that problem. The other thing I realized recently was, for example, the best violinist the world ever saw never picked up a violin. And what I mean by that is that there's probably someone out there who, had they been given the opportunity, would
Yeah.
have been the best violinist in the world. And you could say the same thing for all sorts of disciplines, sport, writing. They just didn't try it, or they just weren't given the opportunity. So the work you're doing is extremely important because um, you've probably seen your own success stories already. You know, you've seen people make it into the profession or have a far more fulfilled life because of their opportunity to play, to learn and play. Um, I said to my son the other day, being a good stockbroker won't make you a good musician, but being a good musician will make you a better stockbroker.
Okay.
And it's true. Study after study shows that people who immerse themselves in that discipline and that progressed learning tend to fare better in other areas of life, not least social, because if you're part of a group or you're a member of an amateur orchestra, for example, you're going to be making friends all the way. So, on behalf of the global music community, thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Now, I know recently you've started a campaign to find some more instruments. So tell us a little bit more about that, because that I'm sure can be a challenge.
Yeah, it is a bit of a challenge at the moment because we're getting so busy now. Each week, I'm receiving at least 3 inquiries from parents every week, and to ask if there's spaces for their child because they want to learn, violin or cello or what have you. So what I've done is I've created a database of instruments that are wanted. The big ones are full size or three-quarter size violins, cellos, and flutes at the moment. Those are the big ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
wherever this appears, we'll make sure there are links to you and that information so that if they can help, people can help. So
that'd be great. Thanks.
yeah, I'm happy to do that. Um, Excellent. Okay, well, that's great work. Long may it continue.
Thank you.
I'm a musician by training, as you know, so I'll be doing as much as I can to help. Have you been in touch with the Guildhall um, School of Music
Um,
and Drama?
I haven't as yet, but although I have tried to reach out to Wigmore um
Okay.
recently. So, but yeah, Wigmore I haven't tried. Guildhall, sorry, I haven't tried yet, but I'm going to.
Yeah, it would be worth getting in touch with the alumni
Right.
at Guildhall and by all means mention my name as an alumnus, and explain that it's quite conceivable that those families will have violins in the attic. You know,
Mm,
that's the hashtag. Violins in the attic.
yeah,
Um,
we do.
yeah, it would be worth doing that, certainly. And there, what must be infuriating, it must be that all over London there are unused musical instruments
To find that. Mm,
sitting around gathering dust.
yeah.
So um, I had a recent experience that pleased me enormously. I used to play the violin. I got to grade 6,
Okay.
but didn't touch my violin for decades. Okay. And my brother is a cellist and he lives and works in Berlin, and he got married recently in Riga.
Mm.
Um, and he had my violin serviced or whatever, given the once over. And at his wedding in Riga in Latvia, they had a string octet, and the leader played my violin.
Oh,
So it was nice to see it in use. It could be 30 years since it was played.
right.
So I'm guilty of that. So um, excellent. Okay, right. Now we're going to have some fun now. Um, I'm going to create your fantasy cultural year. This is going to be really good fun. The to place you somewhere in the world, I need to ask you, what's your favorite building?
Mm. Difficult decisions, one of two, but I have to say the Royal Albert Hall.
Royal Albert Hall. Love
Yeah.
it. I hired it once I used to run a party organizing company, and it was Knight Frank and Knight Frank, the London estate agent. It was their
Oh,
centenary.
okay.
They asked me to organize it, and I hired the Albert Hall, and I managed to persuade the Crown Estates to let me put a Knight Frank sold sign on the Albert Hall and light it up as they all arrived.
Oh, wow.
That was only allowed to do that for an hour. And then there's the Albert Memorial opposite, isn't it? Which is
Yes. Yeah.
beautiful. Yes, I've played there many times. It's a wonderful place. The last time I was there was to see the organist Anna Lapwood.
I saw that she posted that on it was recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
of 2, 3 months ago, perhaps.
Yeah, because I saw the footage of that. It was absolutely brilliant. I love to
Well,
watch.
she climbed into the organ with a
Yeah,
camera.
yeah.
It was wonderful, and I love her interstellar arrangements as well from the movie
Yeah.
Interstellar. So, yeah, that was the last time I was there. Great, excellent.
Nice.
So, I'd like you to assume you're sitting in the sunshine at a pop-up cafe at the Albert Hall. Uh,
Hmm.
you can see the memorial and you can see the Albert Hall. It's sunny. It's 6 p.m. It's June. Okay, um, and you're feeling quite pleased with yourself, but you're sitting there with a drink.
Yeah.
At 6 p.m., what drink would I find next to you?
Um, Homemade orange with bits in.
Homemade orange juice with bits.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, that's great. And there's a book next to you as well. What book would I find next to you?
I would say Johann Sebastian Bach, the learned musician.
Wow.
I'm a pipe organ enthusiast. I do play the pipe organ as well.
Yeah, I saw that lovely photograph you sent me, which is great of you at Westminster Abbey.
Yeah, it's a shame I couldn't play it because there was another service going on, but nevertheless, I was just happy to sit at this beast.
Wonderful. There's a lovely series, I think it's on the BBC iPlayer, of a chap who is saving pipe organs around the country.
His
Uh,
name Martin Renshaw.
yeah, that's ringing bells.
He's
Yeah.
our organ builder.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
He emailed me recently, but yeah, he's I'm actually part of his team.
Ah, okay, because that was a documentary. It's fascinating. You'll have seen it, I assume, when he's up in, I think he's up in Lancashire, rescuing organs before these old
Hmm.
chapels and churches are turned into flats. So
Yeah, and we
literally takes them apart and puts them back together again.
that's right. He did that with our current organ because there's also an organ documentary called Saving the King. I think it's Organ Stops, Saving the King of Instruments. We're actually featured on there.
Oh, I think I might. Were you interviewed on it personally?
I was, yeah.
I saw it. I saw it.
You go.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Oh, I must watch it again. That's brilliant. Okay, fantastic. Okay, now that changes my tack slightly,
Oh,
which is great. Now that you're a TV celebrity,
oh,
um, um, now you're feeling quite pleased with yourself because you've just come from a meeting in the Royal Albert Hall with a wealthy London family foundation who who want to support the work that you and Martin are doing.
mm,
Okay, to save organ
right,
stocks.
right,
They've asked you if you'd be prepared to do a year-long tour around the world, finding pipe organs to save. Okay.
right.
They're going to pay you a lot of money to do this.
Mm,
They're going to keep the school going in your absence. There'll be a TED talk in it. There'll be a TV series in it. There will be a global university lecture tour, and,
mm,
and a TED talk and a book deal. Okay.
wow.
Um, all you have to do, assuming you'd like to take this on, is to decide where you would start. Anywhere in the world, any city in the world, where would you start?
I would probably start in Paris in France because that's I know that's where because Martin usually does he speaks fluent French. He usually does a lot of work in France.
I
So
think that was a bit about in the TV show, wasn't there? He was coming back with all of the bits
that's right.
in the
Yeah.
van. Yeah.
So I think I'll start in France.
Okay. You're on the plane. You turned left on the plane because you're traveling first class at the as guest of this family foundation.
Yeah.
I think I might know where this one's going, but the steward brings you an orange juice with bits in it, and a note from the family foundation who want to experiment on you a bit while you're doing this trip.
Mm.
And they'd like you to limit your musical listening to one very specific genre or type of music,
Hmm.
to the exclusion of all else. I think I might know where this is going.
Baroque.
Baroque.
Yeah.
Excellent. Baroque with lots of organs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Organs and viols and things. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Baroque music. That's brilliant. Now you get to Paris, Charles de Gaulle Airport. There's a group of young music students. They've been detailed to take you under their wing.
Mm.
They've got your name on a card. They whisk you into a limousine with your luggage right into the center of Paris. You've been given a loft apartment in, where should we put you? You're within sight of Sacré-Cœur,
Hmm.
and which I imagine has an organ in it. So there we go.
Exactly.
I think Sacré-Cœur is quite high, and there's a grassy sort of area, and at the bottom is a row of cafes, and you've been given a loft apartment above one of those cafes.
Mm.
And that's your base. Now your friends say, settle in, unpack, relax. We're going to take you to a dance performance and then out to dinner. Now, this is where my magic wand and my time machine come in, because you don't have to stay either in France or in French culture if you don't wish to. So
Okay.
if I gave you that opportunity, what dance performance would you want to watch? You can go back in time. You can have any dancer, living or not, any dance group, any dance style. What would you like to watch?
In terms of dance group, I would say I've always liked diversity. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a lovely choice.
yeah.
I met them. They did the pantomime in Southend-on-Sea
Oh,
for a couple of years, and I know the manager at the Cliffs Pavilion there in Southend, and managed to get my kids backstage to meet them all. So
yeah. They're
it's,
absolutely brilliant because I used to be a street dancer
did you?
in younger days. Yeah.
Ah, you see, I told you this would pull out surprises.
Ah.
Excellent. Okay. So we've been to the diversity show. Now it's dinner. What national cuisine would you like? It's up to you.
Hmm. Now, because I'm mainly plant-based, however, I love Chinese. Like
Okay.
I love like seaweed and yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I
We
think I'll
found a plant-based Michelin-starred Chinese restaurant in Paris for you.
good.
Now it's sport day in France. Next day, it's Saturday. You
Yeah.
can take part if you wish, or you can just watch. What would you like to do?
Hmm. Yeah, the Saturdays I normally go to church. However, because this is a fantasy thing, um,
We can make it Sunday.
I'll say Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. I love athletics because again, I used to be an athlete. So
Well,
track fields, yeah, 100
I've,
meter,
I've
200.
never been. I've never been to an athletics meeting. Um,
Really?
I understand it's much more exciting than it looks on the television as well, apparently. But
Yeah.
excellent. Okay, we'll go to it's the World Athletics Championships in Paris while we're there.
Mm-hmm.
So and we've been given VIP tickets for hospitality. Excellent. Um, Now in Paris, near your apartment, is a new digital art gallery.
Mm, okay.
You can put on a set of virtual reality glasses, and you can step into the work of a famous artist. Now we could go to the Louvre as well if we wanted to,
Oh yeah. Mm.
but we don't have to. So if you could do that, and it's 360 degrees, 3D, immersive and animated if necessary, which famous artist's work would you like to step into?
I would say probably Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. Okay,
Yeah.
lovely. Starry Night.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Great choice. Now, I've flown out to meet you and we're spending the week together. Okay, we're going to go out and do something artistic or cultural every evening. Monday, we're going to a pop or rock concert. Tuesday, we're going to a play. Wednesday, we're going to a Broadway or West End musical. Thursday, we're going to the opera. And on Friday, we're going to the cinema. Okay. Now, if you don't have a preference in those categories, you can allow me to decide or make suggestions. But what pop or rock concert would you want to go to, bearing in mind we have a time machine?
Hmm. Yes, that's a good question. Um, Let me see. I've got so many artists in my head.
Was
UK.
was there a concert or an artist who you could have seen but didn't and now regret it because you can't? I've got one.
Yeah. Maybe if you can make a suggestion. Yeah, I got so many in my head. Maybe oh goodness. Yeah. I could say Beyonce just off the top
Okay,
of my head.
that's fine. My big regret was Bob Marley.
Ah.
I could have gone to the Rainbow in 1975. I,
Mm.
I was 12. My father said he'd take me, but we chickened out. Um, um, that was a real, he died in 81, so I never had the chance to try again. So okay, good. What about a theatre play? Are you a theatre goer?
Not so much, not really. I've never really gone to theatres.
Okay, so then I think what we'll do is jump on your private jet that you've
Mm.
been given.
Am I
Uh,
flying it?
You can fly it if you want. Yeah, I've got the magic wand. We're going to London and the Globe, and we'll go and see some Shakespeare at the Globe. Um, I think probably Much Ado About Nothing. We'll go
Yeah.
and see. Excellent. Are you a musical theatre fan?
Um, I don't think I am. I'm more of like orchestral. Orchestras is more my thing.
Okay, then I'm going to change it. We're going to the Royal Festival Hall, okay, uh, for an overture, concerto, and symphony, and you can choose.
I would say in terms of symphonies, um, Beethoven's Symphony Number 7.
Ooh, nice. And
Mm.
what concerto before the interval?
Let's see, concerto. I think it's one of Handel's Concerto Grossi. I think it's Opus 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. And an overture?
I would say Handel's Judas Maccabeus Overture.
Nice. I'm going
Right.
to have to go and listen to those all now. Mine would be, and I've never been asked this before, but mine would be Candide by Bernstein to start.
Okay.
Overture from Candide. I think it would then have to be the Elgar Cello Concerto,
Brilliant.
played by my brother.
Oh,
Um, and Mahler's Second Symphony.
yeah.
That would be I played all of them, which is lovely. But Mahler 2 was the concert was the symphony we played to open Symphony Hall in Birmingham back in '91. So yeah, I love that. It's that
Okay.
I'm on Spotify playing the cymbals at the end of
All
it.
right.
Um,
Good
excellent. That's
choices.
nice. I'm glad we did that because I've never really thought that through. But that's yeah, I love yours. That was great. You're much more Baroque than I am. I've my wife play a game on in the car when we've got Classic FM on. It only works if they tell you what it is at the end of the piece.
Yeah.
And we've got a game called Can You Hear a Triangle?
Oh,
I'd love to come and do it at your school. So
that'd be good.
you play a piece of music and you work and you can get to the composer if you ask the right questions. Okay. So, and it's for non-musicians. Uh,
Mm,
so for example, let's assume I'm playing something. So the question I would ask, first question is, can you hear a choir?
mm,
If there's no choir, then that is not a choral work.
mm.
Um, is there a solo instrument?
Yeah.
If there is, then it's a concerto. Is there one instrument on its own or lots of instruments? If it's one instrument, then it's a sonata of some description.
Mm,
Um, if you can hear brass, then it's a symphony orchestra.
yeah.
So you can normally work out, you can help somebody decide what kind of format the piece is in. And then I ask questions like, does this bring a certain country to mind?
Yeah.
Um, does it make you want to march or dance? What dance comes into your head? Is it a waltz or is it a stately saraband or something? And using those, you can normally. I've tried this once with a non-musician, and only they could hear the music, and I managed to get the composer because
Uh,
from their answers and non-musicians, and then you go, is it a bit Hey Nonny No, a bit Blackadder-y sort of sounding, or
mm,
is it classical and nice and kind of Antiques Roadshow sounding, or is it martial and warlike and threatening and dark,
mm,
or is it romantic with lots of strings and scrunchy chords, or is it plinky plonk?
yeah.
And that normally makes it possible. It's either Baroque, classical, romantic, nationalist, or modern, and you can normally find that. And then it's easy on Classic FM because they only really play 3 or 4 composers from each of those periods quite often. So if it's kind of classical, then you're looking at Mozart, Haydn, and Beethoven,
Yeah.
possibly Brahms. If it's martial, then it could be Tchaikovsky, that kind of or romantic. It's a fun game. I should come and do it at the
Okay.
school.
Yeah, that'll be good to do.
Would
Yeah.
love to do
I'll
that.
come.
Excellent. Okay, where did we get to? Okay, right, we're going to the opera now.
Opera.
Have you a favorite opera?
Don Giovanni.
Beautiful. Mozart's Don Giovanni. We'll go
Yeah.
to that. And what about a film? Favorite film?
Um, let me see, is there one called The Piano Player?
There's the piano.
Piano. Yeah.
Is it the one with the piano on the beach? The woman who travels
Yeah,
halfway around the world and takes
I
a
think,
piano with her.
yeah, is it the piano?
Yeah, and
Yes,
I think she's mute. I think
that's
she's
right. Yeah,
yeah.
that's the one, yeah.
And then the other one I think is the pianist. Uh,
Yes, yeah, I've seen that one as well.
yeah,
That's a good film.
great choice. That'll be good. Excellent. Right, that's our week done. Now I'm
Oh,
going to leave you to do this study year shortly, but I've booked a restaurant in Paris. It's a Michelin star, another Michelin star Chinese plant-based restaurant.
based.
And you're there waiting for your guests to arrive with your orange juice with bits in it next to you.
Yeah.
You can invite anyone you like, okay,
Hmm.
living or otherwise, famous or not. Who would you choose to have lunch with for a couple of hours?
I would invite one of my favorite contemporary pianists and composers, Ludovico Einaudi.
Oh, great choice.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love his music. Yeah.
My wife has got to grade 5 piano, and I think his pieces were amongst the repertoire for her
Oh, good.
graded music exams. Now, in a slight twist to this question, who would he invite?
Who would he invite? Um, suppose he could invite one of his contemporaries.
It can be, we don't forget we've got a time machine and a magic wand.
Hmm, maybe he could invite, I don't know, Rachmaninoff.
Oh, the man with the big hands.
Yeah, huge, isn't it? Yeah.
Uh, are there tenths? I think are there.
I think he could span the 14th or
He
something.
could do a he could do a 40.
I think so because I've got a lot of his music because as a pianist I used to play a lot of his repertoire. So, but his spans are kind of impossible.
I know. That's
But yeah,
that's great. Yeah, he would love to do that, I'm sure. So there you are. There's your year started. I fly off and leave you in Paris. You go all over the world,
yeah.
finding pipe organs to save.
Hmm.
All the logistics are following you to come and pick it up. Martin's probably driving. Uh,
Yeah.
and you find several, and you're sort of celebrated as the savior of the pipe organ across the world. And you do the TED talk about it, and you've been interviewed for television shows. You're writing a book about your experiences, and the book deal's in the bag, and you're doing a global university lecture tour about your adventures as well, and probably a couple of Women's Institute gigs.
Mm.
Mm. Excellent. Have you enjoyed your fantasy cultural year, Fiona?
It's been it's absolutely brilliant. It's different, but it's
I love it. It's a nice way of pulling out those surprises. So
yeah.
um now I've got the this or that game. Have you got time to do that with me?
Yeah, I've got time.
Right. I'm going to give you two options. You have to choose one.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's quite fast paced.
Okay, try my best.
Still or sparkling?
Still,
Mac or PC?
Mac,
Tea or coffee?
tea,
Radio or television?
radio,
Trainers or high heels?
trainers,
Brussels sprouts or peas?
bees,
Call them or text them?
call them,
Window or aisle seat?
window,
Milk or dark chocolate?
milk,
Car or motorcycle?
car,
Thunderbirds or Power Rangers?
thunderbirds,
Boiled or fried egg?
Boiled.
Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Concert hall or sports stadium?
Concert hall.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Test the water or dive in at the deep end?
Dive in.
This is so funny because this has been in here since I've been doing this question.
Okay.
Orange juice, bits or no bits?
Bits.
Love it. An hour in an art gallery or an hour in a museum?
An hour in an art gallery.
Okay. Beethoven or Mozart?
Let me see. Beethoven.
No, I'm going to give you some other ones of those. Bruckner or Mahler?
Mahler.
Tchaikovsky or Rachmaninoff?
Rachmaninoff.
Bach or Handel?
Bach.
Yeah, nice. Those are just bonus ones.
Okay.
Shower or bath?
Bath.
Cooking or being cooked for?
Cooking.
Sand or snow?
Sand.
Shopping online or in store?
In store.
Reggae or salsa?
Reggae.
Indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
Start immediately or wait until the last minute?
Start immediately.
I'm afraid I'm a last minute merchant. Android or iPhone?
Oh, definitely Android.
Oh, there's a yeah. Uh, decidedly Android. Are you an anti-Mac or anti-Apple, or do you just
Well, I have a Mac machine.
right?
In terms of phones, because I used to be an iPhone user
Mm,
about 10 years ago, but I've had issues with iPhones and I switched to Android. I'm perfectly happy with Android.
good, excellent. New York or Los Angeles?
New York, because some of my family are out there.
Excellent. Early riser or night owl?
Early riser because I'm a carer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Messy desk or tidy desk?
Tidy desk.
Red or white wine?
I don't drink wine, but I'll I'll just say red.
Okay.
Yeah.
Numbers or words?
Words.
Bedroom door open or closed?
Open.
Rare or well done, assuming you had a nut-based steak.
Yeah. So vegan meat.
Vegan
Well
meat.
done.
Yeah.
Well
Cool.
done.
Okay. Mild or spicy?
Mild.
Gold or silver?
Gold.
And finally, see the future or change the past.
See the future.
It's got the lottery ticket numbers in it, hasn't it? Yes.
There you
Fiona,
go.
that was great. Thank you so much for being such a good sport and doing that. We all got to know you a little bit better while you were doing that. Thank you. Thanks also for being one of our full members. It's what keeps us going. Very much appreciated. I'm looking forward to helping you raise awareness for the need for some musical instruments,
Thank you.
especially three-quarter or full-size violins, cellos as well, I think, probably, and
Yeah.
flutes.
Flutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. That was great fun. Thank you so much for doing that. Don't dart off, but for the time being, I hope you enjoyed your fantasy cultural year. And thanks so much for being one of our full members.
Thank you for having me. It's been absolutely great. And it's good. It's a good work that you're doing as well. So yeah,
Thank you, Fiona.
thank you for introducing me to this wonderful community.